big, bro.
$1 million vanished from ATMs across Harris County in just 4
You
days.
hear that
for
shit?
Small businesses.
Yeah, investigators say an organized group of criminals with ties to Russia are behind this first
Ties to
hacking
Russia.
case in Harris County. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry spoke one-on-one with the detective and has the story you'll see only on 2 tonight.
It's called jackpotting, and the way this group is attacking ATMs in states across the country, including in Houston, is brand new for financial crime investigators. It's all happening virtually, and it means stacks of cash are being stolen without ever being deducted from a bank account. At more than 70 ATMs across Texas, from Houston and its suburbs to Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio.
And they just go until the machine won't give up money anymore.
HPD Detective Roger Collins, assigned to the U.S. Secret Service Cyber Fraud Task Force, has been unraveling a theft case like he's never seen before.
There's other types of theft from ATMs that happens, but nothing like this.
The first reports of this kind of jackpotting in the Houston area came in last September. 51 ATMs attacked in a matter of hours when more than $150,000 disappeared. So who's losing in all of this?
It's the owner of the ATM.
Owners of the machines and small businesses like gas stations and hotels out thousands. Surveillance images shared exclusively with KPRC2 show the suspects in the act, using rented cars and intently using their cell phones while standing at the cash machines. Detective Collins says all they need is a receipt, either from a trash nearby or by pulling the balance.
They'll take a picture of the receipt and they send that to somebody on the other end.
And then the hack is on.
They're just fooling the machine into thinking that nothing has happened. It's a normal transaction that got canceled. However, the money is gone.
But no bank account ever gets hit.
No, the money is never subtracted from a bank account. And they just keep doing it over and over and over until they can't spit money out no more.
The group is accused of targeting Texas over 4 days last fall, believed to be responsible for the loss of more than $236,000. Now 7 of them have been charged and 5 are still unidentified.
In some cases, it was alleged that the ATMs were tampered with to increase daily limits.
2 of the suspects have been arrested in Harris County, a third caught in Las Vegas and extradited. These 2 are wanted and 2 are in custody in Miami. The alleged leader in the U.S., Vitaly Muravel. He's a Ukrainian war refugee, his attorney says, here on a humanitarian visa, facing similar charges in Georgia and Florida.
He's the one that receives the information from the...
There we go right there, bro.
Damn, that shit is, man, that, you know, we ran through a bunch of these ATM licks, bruh. This is very sophisticated here.
Yeah, this is a cold hack. 100%.
Yeah, without them doing some wild shit like busting out blowtorches or the jaws of life and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
How did they stumble upon that?
Russian. I mean, you know, when it comes to them hackers, bro, we're talking like Indians, Nigerians, Russians, you know, Chinese. They're some of the best. You know what I mean?
Some of the best, bro. You go to the ATM and all you need is a receipt to make that motherfucker spit out what you want that motherfucker to spit out, bro.
That's a crazy loophole. Like, how the fuck do you figure that out?
100%, bro. You know what I mean? And it's so elaborate that the Secret Service, bro, he's part of the Secret Service. 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah. And he's appointed to this specifically because he's like, yo, if this thing gets out, you know what I mean? Like, look there's 7 people involved. You know what I mean? They only, for what it's worth, it's only been 230 bands. You know, imagine if you start selling that hack, like, hey, I'm gonna need 10 bands and I'm gonna show you how to make 100 times it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you gotta put an end to that shit first. 9 times out of 10, too, whoever's running that main thing, if they catch him, he's gonna end up working for the peoples. You know what I mean?
Bruh. So, and one of them is what they say, he was a Ukraine war or something. And the motherfucker here is on some type of a visa that, like, he's a humanitarian or I forgot what the fuck they just said on everything. My fault, but bro here on a visa, you know what I mean, to do some good. And this motherfucker cracking ATMs on my mama. That shit is crazy.
He agreed beforehand.
Right.
He knows what side he's playing on.
Hey, did it in that video? Did any of them dudes like have COVID mask on or anything while they was at the ATM? Because they had identified like they got like 4 or 5 of them.
Because that's the one thing, as sophisticated as it is, right? Without you having to actually literally break into the shit physically, you're still on cameras and shit. You know what I mean? Like every single time. That's a good point. Now I'm trying to remember. I almost want to watch it back now. Did any of them motherfuckers was they masked up?
Right, and that's another. Well, but see, 2 of them is unidentified. But I remember one of the dudes that was unidentified. They, they had a picture.
Yeah, they showed him.
Oh my mama, everything. Yeah, no, that was a hell of a.
Oh, they're gonna get him. They're gonna identify. They're gonna find out who he is eventually.
Right.
Because even if not, they'll find out through one of them people that's gonna get to tell him. Somebody, the singing ratio is pretty high these days.
The ET finger, big breath.
Yeah, it's almost like 100%.
Oh man,
It's sad.
And they was using rentals, so they had to go use names and credit cards or debit cards to get the rentals to go pull up to the ATMs. It's like they was getting tracked the whole time, but that motherfucking plan they had, that was a hell of a plan on everything. For sure.
When they say they think they were like tinkered with, or they did something to it to get the increase of the amount that those ATMs carry. That sounds like someone that works in the bank that could like do that. You know what I mean? They'd be like, all right, this location, we're gonna increase the amount. It's gonna have 50,000 in there. Go hit that joint. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so maybe this thing, because I'm trying to figure out how the fuck do you figure something out like that? You know what I mean?
Well, they said all they needed was the receipt. So it's some type of numbers or some type of code on that receipt, and they take a picture of the receipt and send it to somebody that's wherever the fuck they at the computer, and you know what I mean, get to doing what they doing, and bro, get the
they cancel the transaction essentially, and then. But the money's already spat. You know what I mean?
Oh, well. 100%.
Yeah, so then it doesn't get deducted from whatever account.
Yeah, like you said.
It's pretty fucking slick.
Like you said, it might be like some type of inside shit, or them motherfuckers say like they got one of them ATMs and they know how them motherfuckers work. You know what I mean? And so all you got to do is just crack that code of, you know what I mean? Because it's on the
but also like in banks won't carry, like, you know how in your quintessential bank robbery movie, they're gonna go in there, they get into the back, there's hella money. It's not usually like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You gotta order. That's why you have the armored trucks and shit. You gotta order the certain amounts of money. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna fill an ATM, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it just said they hit like 70 of them. Mm-hmm. They hit like 70. So if you getting,
let's do the math.
If you
so
10
230 divided by 70, right? So it's about what they made about 21 bands. Okay, I'm doing the math wrong. What's that? Okay, yeah, they got about 21 bands from each machine. If you do it like that, am I doing that math right?
The calculator is my friend.
You right, lying.
Oh my mom.
I'm definitely doing the math wrong.
200 and what? 14,000.
Yeah, it's like 3 point something. 230,000 divided by, or you can just do 230 divided by 7, and then we can add the zeros. But yeah, 230,000 divided by 70, because they said they hit 70 ATMs.
So I got 3 bands, 3,200 out of each ATM.
That sucks. You know, it's like, so like, imagine this: if you have somebody on the inside and they could like, relegate how much money that's going to be held in the machines when they're filling them up. You know what I mean? Then you go, hey, this machine right here has 50. You feel me? Because then how much you think one's going to hold? Like 20, 25 maybe on a regular?
Well, see, these is just little small ones that be at liquor stores and shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Where they charge you like $2, $3 to even make the transaction. You know what I mean? So these motherfuckers ain't holding too much on everything.
Yeah, that's a lot of I call that Smurf work. Where like, I'm like, okay, I could either do this all by myself, or I could have a bunch of Smurfs doing it, and I just get a piece off of each one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Smurf work.
Send the brides up in there.
You feel me? Send them all everywhere. Even if you're just gonna hit it all at once. See, that's the thing, is like you would almost have to have a whole squad and hit like 50 of these or hit 100 machines simultaneously, because otherwise it's like you have to pick and choose, and over time that money just, it's not worth it.
Well, they said that 50 of them before, like a year or a couple of years ago, they hit 50 in so many days, or in such a little amount of time.
You got to.
On everything.
Imagine you hit a machine, drain that bitch out. There's only about 5 bands in it. There's like 4 of you or 5 of you on the team. You're like, damn it, all right, let's go. That's the next one. You know what I mean?
Well, and see, that's the thing though. All it takes is one person, so you don't need 5 people at one ATM. All 5 of y'all just
that's
go.
True. But you know what I'm saying though. Like if you got a squad, this is where the movie would start, right? Because then everybody eating until one person says, "Hey, there's too many of us." You know what I mean?
Right.
We need to cut the shares down.
Yeah, my boys, they wasn't playing. I don't know how they was splitting the pot, if they was splitting the pot, and then that's some like a syndicate, like crime, like type. You know what I mean? They might have had to been shooting some money up to the top too, though. You know what I mean? They might have been the grunt workers though.
Yeah, they might have been the Smurfs.
100% on everything. Them is facts. What you got going out on this, big bro?
It's crazy because that one was slick. You know what I mean? I thought the Jaws of Life was funny. I thought that was funny because it was like, you know what I mean, just raw brute force. Then you're like, fuck it, Jaws of Life. You know what I mean? Now they just got the little woo wop, doop doop bloop. They're gonna put an end to that though.
Yeah, that Jaws of Life shit was crazy too, huh, bro?
You ain't lying.
What was that? Was that this week or was that last?
I think that was the other day.
So the ATM machines.
I thought that's why you threw this one in here. I was like, okay, cool, another ATM one.
I forgot about the Jaws of Life shit, big bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
Remember, I was like, yo, they hitting them with the regular Jaws.
Right. Oh, everything.
Somebody had to get the Jaws of Life this time.
The regular Jaws. Oh, whoa. These dudes, boy, they wasn't playing though, man. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? And whoever, found out this shit. And it wasn't affecting nobody's nobody's personal accounts. You know what I mean? It was affecting the people that own the ATMs. And I'm pretty sure that shit is insured too.
They were like the Robin Hood of ATM bank robbers. ATM machine robbers. You know what I'm saying? They were stealing from the rich. See that? They're Robin Hoods.
Come on now. Oh, my mama. They was tearing their ass up. Oh, we're going to keep that one saved because we might see another update to this, or somebody already might got this. They know how to do that shit. You know what I mean? So they might have already sold the formula. Oh, everything. They might have sold the formula already.
Sold the Krabby Patty formula, man.
Come on now. 100%. You wanna cook the last one up?
Yeah. Let's cook this last one up.
I'm having trouble finding that motherfucker. That's because
Yeah, we're making good time.
I'm looking with my eye. I'm looking with my mouth and not my eyes. Should have had this motherfucker already cooked up. Damn it, my bad.
What's this last one you looking for?
It's about how we all like to take vacations, and when you go on vacations, you recharge your batteries. It gives you a whole new outlook on life. You plan on how you going while you on vacation, on how you, once it start getting close to the end date to go home, you start thinking about how you gonna plan your next vacation. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But when you get yourself locked in a timeshare, and I've heard horror.
Shit.
Yeah, I've heard horror.
Okay. I see. Okay. Yeah. Let's see where this one goes.
Oh my mama, if I can find a motherfucker.
I will say though, we didn't pull the cheat code timeshare tours a bunch of times.
What you mean?
Like they'd be like, you sign up for a tour and they give you a free night or whatever the fuck, and we can.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The homie's like, listen, I'll sign up for a tour. We're good, bro. Like, all right, fuck it, young shit. You know what I mean?
They have your ass in there for some hours too.
Hey, but shit, he was willing to do it.
Oh, Bob.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you got that. You know what I mean?
Come on,
I'm
now.
like, word, I'll be out there.
Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry, man. I don't know why.
It's all good, man. Woo.
Video too.
Was that it?
I said I was just watching this motherfucking video too.
It being a good history.
When you save it to the playlist in the history, it just shows the.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
School's day.
Bless you.
Thank you. Bless us all.
Come on now.
And the pocket piece. You feel me?
Facts. Yeah. Where's this shit at? Shit pissing me off now. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's by the pastor. Who's the pastor at? I have a weird way of remembering shit. You know, the dyslexia, all types of weird shit.
Yeah, you're gonna reverse engineer that thing.
Oh, Bob.
I'm the same way.
Okay.
Like I always forget. Like I got the most incredible memory, but I'll forget like 10 seconds ago. But I'll remember like a minute ago, and I'll just have to go back and then relive that minute. And yeah, I remember what I was gonna say now.
Come on now. Oh,
Sometimes it'll be like 3 days later though. Or I'm taking a shit or something. You know what I mean? When it's not even important. I remember now.
Oh, everything. Facts. Facts. Here we go right here. Cheat code, like you said.
A story about a Michigan couple that is stuck in a Mexican jail over alleged fraudulent credit card charges. This is something reported earlier this week here on CBS News Detroit. Now, the couple's attorney is responding to recent claims that the company is making. Arlene Rojas Castillo has that story now.
Well, Terrence, after our story about Christy and Paul Aquillo aired earlier this week, the company at the center of it all is responding.
This is just a bunch of lies. And I think what the documents illustrate is this is a civil dispute.
Harsh words from Aquillo family attorney John Manley after Palace Resorts, the Florida-based company that owns multiple resorts and properties in Mexico, shared documents with CBS News Detroit detailing the reasons behind its decision to pursue criminal fraud charges against the couple. In a statement, the Palace company says, quote, between 2016 and 2021, the Aquillos knowingly and willingly entered into 19 separate membership agreements with Palace Elite, investing over $1.4 million USD in exchange for exclusive benefits and rates intended strictly for personal use. This nearly 50-page contract shows the money paid by the Aquillos and the guidelines the couple were expected to follow when using the properties. Manley says the decision to pursue criminal charges is overblown.
We don't put people in prison in this country or in Mexico for breach of contract. Okay? This is a timeshare, not a crime share.
Palace says in 2020, Aquillos were found to be in, quote, material breach of those agreements.
Watch this shit.
After the company alleges the couple promoted and profited from their benefits on social media, which they say is explicitly prohibited under the terms of the contract.
Last time I looked, we had the First Amendment was we had free speech.
Palace says they notified the Aquillos of the violation and sent the couple a waiver they signed in April 2022, where they acknowledge what they did and agree to refrain from posting any future comments about the company. Palace says the Aquillos then began disputing their membership charges with their credit card companies, getting more than $100,000 in reversed fees. In these Facebook posts shared with CBS News Detroit, the company alleges the Aquillos bragged about these chargebacks and encouraged others to follow suit. That's when attorneys for Palace sent a cease and desist letter accusing the couple of providing, quote, specific instructions to current Palace Elite members on how to purportedly terminate their respective membership agreement using illegal and fraudulent means. That led Palace to file a criminal complaint against the couple in August 2023.
If you use inflammatory language about your hotel or your vacation timeshare in Mexico, you go to jail. Really? That's their complaint. These people have no business being in prison anywhere. This is a contract dispute.
Manley says Palace recently offered the Akios a settlement. If the couple paid $250,000, signed a non-disclosure agreement, helped take down the Facebook group, and publicly apologized. The family declined, calling it extortion.
But more importantly, Palace could say,
That
"Oh,
shit
you
is
violated this.
fucking
You committed
crazy.
fraud. We're putting a red notice. We're going to charge you with a crime," and they'd be right back in prison in Mexico. They can't sign it, and they're not going to sign it.
Well, Terrence, not only is this all happening, but Manley tells me that the couple is still fighting that recent order that gave Palace Resorts 6 more months to gather evidence. And they also denied the Akios' request for house arrest and ordered them to remain in jail until the next hearing.
Got to playing with their money, bro. 100%. They wanted them to pay $250,000, apologize in public, and help them take down that Facebook shit on everything.
That's crazy. And what they hit him for? So they got him for on the reimbursement shit, or not reimbursement. What they get him for? What was that?
They said they gave him the company gave them people back 100 bands over. I guess they was. I don't know what they was arguing about. You know what I mean? But they end up getting 100 bands back. But they were promoting how to
how to go and get them
and get out of the contract. You know what I mean? Because once you sign that timeshare shit, you locked in. You know what I mean? They promote lawyer services to help you get out of that shit. You know what I mean? And you locked in, and 100%. And they spent $1 million because it showed $60,000 payments. A few times.
But they were basically renting it out to people. You know what I mean? So they were making money off of it, and then they didn't like that either. You know what I mean? Because that was against policy. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what they was doing, is making dough off that motherfucker. 100%, because it
so
showed.
And then they were telling on themselves, as and a lot of them do in this day and age. You know what I mean?
On everything, yeah, because it showed in some of the Facebook posts pictures of how when you be at the Airbnb and they show you pictures of the house and shit like that, it showed on the Facebook page. So they was probably promoting that motherfucker on Facebook. And then once they got caught for that shit, oh, this is how you get up out of it. Boom. And they didn't like that. You got to fucking with their money. 100%.
They were in those pictures smiling too.
That shit crazy.
We're having such a good time.
But to be in jail for that shit though, so but see
that's kind of crazy.
When you go across these borders and shit and get to playing with these other countries and shit like that, and you really don't know, how they laws is and shit like that. That's where that shit come in at, man. And to be in jail, in a foreign jail, man, that's to be in jail, period. You know what I mean? Let alone somewhere where you can't even get to your peoples, or your peoples can't even get to you. Just, you know what I mean? 100%. That's some scary shit.
Then you gotta worry about, like, say you ain't even habla español, then you in there, and then they, you know what I mean? You somebody's señorita behind bars now. You know what I'm saying? You just get got over there, man. Don't go to Mexican jail, man, or any jail, like JD said. I'm just saying, though.
Bro, that's man. And it said
they're in the prison or whatever it is too. Not even like some regular in the pinta.
And it said that they got approved to hold them for another 6 more months to gather evidence on their ass about, whatever they was doing on, getting these people, getting them fucked over on their money. 100%.
Yeah, don't mess with them peoples, man. They got way more money.
Palace Resorts is the name of the resort company that owns all the properties that they talking about. They said they got a whole bunch of properties in Mexico too. Everything. Peacock said a high school kid was stabbed to death in the DFW area at